After the show debuted in December of 2020, followers of Alice in Borderland now have all the answers 2 years later. A group of regular people are transported to an alternate Tokyo where they must win life-threatening games in order to survive and have the opportunity to return to the real world. This exciting death game series, which is currently Netflix's most watched Japanese show ever, follows their journey. Throughout the entire length of the show, neither the characters nor the audience have been able to learn how the players were selected or whether they will ever be able to leave Borderland. The only thing left to speculate about is whether the Netflix sensation will return for a third season now that the Season 2 finale has addressed all of the major issues surrounding Arasu's stay in Borderland. Has Season 3 of Alice in Borderland been renewed? Netflix recently unveiled a highly cryptic teaser hinting at the possibility of a third season for Alice in Borderland after 9 months of radio quiet. A set of 10 playing cards against a dark background was featured on the streaming behemoth's official Twitter account yesterday. Not only are playing cards one of the series' most significant symbols, but innumerable fans also figured out what might be a secret message. The cards clearly spelled out Alice 3 if you write down each suit and select the letter in the suit that corresponds to the number on the card. A Netflix Japan post showcasing the cards also includes a caption that raises questions about when we might learn officially if Season 3 will be renewed, as well as potential clues as to whether the following season will be an ongoing adaptation based on Aso's spin-offs or with a sequel comprised of fresh content. Please decipher the message hidden in these 10 playing cards. It says in English, the date of the answers is September 28th. How did Season 2 of Alice in Borderland conclude? The dramatic battle between players Arasu and Usagi and the Queen of Hearts, also known as Miracano, who was revealed to be one of the game masters at the end of Season 1, ultimately took place in the Season 2 finale. After Quina, Anne, Aguni, and Heya, all of whom suffered severe injuries but survived, assisted Arasu and Usagi in the beating of the King of Spades, they proceeded to the Queen of Hearts arena in search of a croquet match. Arasu's quest for knowledge about Borderland became a struggle of the mind when Mira gave him a simple task to win 3 games of croquet. During the season, Arasu had made an effort to learn more about the dangerous, enigmatic Borderland from each of its citizens, who had subsequently turned into the face card challengers. After winning every card, he and his comrades were willing to put their lives in danger to go back to the real world, but they never received word that they would not be forced to stay in Borderland indefinitely. Mira took advantage of his desperation by giving him a number of false, dystopian justifications. The VR game Borderland with future eternal people was rather interesting. The last scenario resonates with Arasu because Mira claims he's been in a mental institution the entire time, that she's his doctor, and that Borderland is merely a fantasy he created because he couldn't accept the murders of Chota and Karuba. Arasu's persistent remorse over his friends' deaths is severely damaged by this reality. Initially, he believes it enough to almost accept Mira's game-ending tablets. Usagi, on the other hand, cuts herself to wake him up, begs her to save him, and reassures him that they can still live together. After finishing the croquet rounds and leaving Mira lasered, he comes out of his sadness. When asked if they would like to remain citizens of Borderland, the victorious parties, Arasu, Usagi, Aguni, Heya, Quina, Chishiya, and even Niragi, all respond negatively, and then Borderland's reality is revealed to us. Going back to the beginning at Shibuya Crossing, all of the remaining players are present, as well as Arasu, who is playing in the street along Chota and Karuba. All those pyrotechnics everyone recalls seeing just before they cross the border into Borderland? Actually, the area was destroyed by a meteorite that exploded over Tokyo. In the real world, the events in Borderland happened in a little minute, and everyone present was real people whose hearts had momentarily stopped during the explosion. Everyone who survived and made the decision to leave was revived, but Chota, Karuba, and the other Borderland victims perished in the actual world. They wind up at the same hospital where these strangers are naturally drawn to one another, despite their lack of acquaintance. After meeting and making an approach to Usagi, Arisu continues living her life. How does the finale set up a possible Season 3? The real explanations for Borderland offer a stunning wrap-up to a program that was essentially an exploration of the drive to survive. All of our favorite characters eventually discovered that life's purpose is to live, and witnessing them all, including the young child that Arisu and Usagi rescued from the Queen of Spades, argued that making amends with their loved ones in the real world made for a very happy conclusion. For those who are curious about the Haru Aso source manga, the Season 2 finale actually marked the conclusion of the Arisu in Borderlands story, as it closely mirrored the original ending. A gust of wind sweeps across a table full of playing cards, and all of them float away except for the Joker, as the show finale concluded, but with a very menacing look. Fans of the manga, in which a figure by the name of the Joker serves as a ferryman to transport people between Borderland and our world, may find this final scene to be a series of Easter eggs. Alternatively, it might be a clue that Shinsuke Sato, the series director, hopes to make a different kind of return to the Borderland universe. Haru Asu did, after all, pen 2 manga spin-offs. What could Season 3 be about? Both of Aso's Borderlands spin-offs might be developed into exciting Netflix seasons, either as a continuation or a standalone special. Sadly, neither of them has yet been made available in English. The protagonist of the first, Alice on Border Road, is Kinasano, a schoolgirl from Tokyo who is dissatisfied with her typical life. She loses her memory and wakes up in a devastated Kyoto one day holding the Queen of Clubs card. Along with Alice Kojima, a fellow student who is holding the Queen of Hearts, she encounters a number of other amnesiac wanderers. In the end, the two join a group of 12 face card holders who receive a clue directing them to Tokyo. However, when one of the individuals who declines to go is slain, everything changes. Alice in Borderland Retry is a straight sequel that sees Arisu return to the dangerous realm, while Border Road features entirely different characters and has no link to AIB other than the idea. The unlucky guy has to win one game, the 9 of Hearts, in order to immediately return to the real world after finding himself back in Borderland. The brief series picks up some time after the events of AIB, with Arisu married to Usagi and employed as a school counselor. The Season 2 finale of Alice in Borderland may also be the show's last, even if both of these adaptations are possible and should be available in English soon. It's good to see a Netflix series come to a well-thought-out, slow-moving end, leaving us with 2 seasons to revisit in the future. Whether there is still more AIB or if Arisu and Usagi have seen their last, either way, the series has been an incredible on-screen experience and a heart-pounding, frequently sad roller coaster journey. Although the second season finale of Alice in Borderland largely followed the manga's conclusion, the show hinted at a possible new antagonist for the third season of Alice in Borderland. There was never a Joker card game in the Alice in Borderland Battle Royale games. The Joker in the manga is a representation of the ferryman who returns Arisu and the others to reality, but the second season of Alice in Borderland on Netflix concluded with a menacing image of a Joker card in the real world. Thus, an original Joker card game plot could be included in Alice in Borderland Season 3. There are just 2 possible ways to carry on the plot in Alice in Borderland Season 3, considering the second season closes rather closely to the Alice in Borderland manga. One would be to adapt the manga Alice in Borderland Retry, which has Arisu returning to Borderland several years after the events of Alice in Borderland. An original plot for Arisu that continued where Alice in Borderland Season 2 left off would be the second possibility. But that would mean that for Alice in Borderland Season 3, there would be a significant departure from the comic. That's all for now. For more videos like this, subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.